Hi, I'm Jale. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a general collective reading for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019. As with all general readings, please do take what resonates and leave the rest. We're going to do a link with Spirit to see what messages, what information they want to bring in for Libra for the month of December. We'll be going into tarot cards for gaining a bit more depth within the situations for you guys in December, and then oracle cards for outcomes. So let's just get a link with Spirit, just see what they want to say in relation to Libra. Oh, okay. You guys have choices. I'm just seeing two. This is like an evolving... This is not just a decision that involves you. This is going to involve other people. And this pertains to whatever, many different areas. But it's like... This is about partnerships, but it could be work, it could be love. They're just saying in all areas, partnership with money, contracts, partnerships, renewal, hope. If your partnership that you're currently in is maybe a little bit unbalanced, where you're putting more effort in and the other person isn't so much, that is going to be called into question. If you're putting more money into the situation and they're not, that's going to be... It's like it's a recalibration of anything that has been slightly unbalanced within a partnership, within a situation that involves you and one other person. It could be more than one, but the majority of you, it will be more you and one other person. There could be also some connection around your family as well. So it could be this is maybe someone that the family knows. Maybe this is to do with family. It doesn't have to just be with a love, romantic relationship. It could be to do with a family member. But there's a recalibration of energies around you and a significant other person in your life that is going to be renewed and looked at within this month of December. They're also saying about... They're referencing if you've made a lot of hard decisions over the last 3 or 4 months, it's like they're acknowledging that, because I feel like there's certainly some energies have really had a lot of difficult decisions that they've been making, and I feel like this could be one of the last ones to make before a bit of a fresh energy comes in around you guys. But it feels like the last of a few decisions that you've been making that is to set the tone. Now, obviously, we are coming into a new decade. This is the last month of a 2010 decade. So this is a lot of people are wanting to kind of make fresh starts. I'm just hearing don't give up as well. So if you've really had an expectation of what this month would deliver for you, and you're sat there thinking, when I just said that, don't give up on it, because there's a reason they're saying that. It just means that maybe the timing isn't right. Like, I'm seeing so many situations this month where the timing just isn't right, and that there's some certain things that need to be acknowledged and looked at before a decision is made. What are your preferences? Where do you want to take your new decade into? Someone's also trying to put their own kind of needs on the back burner in order to appease other people, because they want to make sure that this goes successfully. And what Spirit is saying is this is exactly the situation that needs to be recalibrated, because if you are forever putting your needs secondary, it's not the best start, is it? You need to start as you mean to go on. It's very important, because if there's an imbalance there, what else is there an imbalance with? Right, they're saying go to the cards. Okay, let's have a look. So Libra, for Libra signs, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus for the month of December, please, 2019. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019. What can you tell me please about Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs? General collective of Libra, please. Just trying to tune into what else they're saying. What can you tell me please, Spirit? I don't know. I'm also hearing harbouring a grudge. So it could be that someone is... Because we've also just pulled the 8 of Swords. Someone's harbouring a grudge over something here. And it's not productive, they're saying. It's a non-productive energy. It's not clearing anything, it's just blocking things. With the Eight of Swords, this is usually about concern, sleepless nights, someone that's up worried, someone that doesn't know what they want. But we've just pulled the Nine of Cups. So this is a very positive outcome. It's just someone's worrying themselves over some details, some small details or big details. But the outcome is clear. It's like Nine of Cups, and then after that we've got the Hierophant. So it's a wish being fulfilled and a deeper commitment, either spiritually or romantically. But there is a very definitive energy of kind of I choose you. And again, we've got the Five of Pentacles, which is usually about not feeling like your investments are paying off, feeling like you're being left out in the cold, feeling like there's a discrepancy in energy, there's a little imbalance in energies here. But then after that we've got the Star. So let's pull some more cards to clarify these 5 cards and get an idea of the bigger picture here. So what can you tell us, please? Okay. Yeah, it looks here, because we've got the Eight of Swords now with the Queen of Swords. This is someone worrying. It could be over an air sign. So again, Gemini, Aquarius or Libra. It could have been after an argument, okay? The Queen of Swords is usually someone who's got a very, very, very determined energy in terms of speaking their truth, honouring themselves, is able to articulate their needs and their wants, and will not allow anyone to kind of stand in their way, essentially. Now, usually it's balanced. Now, because it is an upright card, it suggests that it's a balanced energy. If it was reversed, then I would sort of question whether or not that was, you know, an unbalanced energy. But someone is concerned over a decision that has been made, okay? Someone is worrying about having to say something to someone or having to approach this Queen of Swords, but there is a general concern and anxiety around this energy. Okay, now the next cards were the Nine of Cups with the Four of Wands. Now the Four of Wands can be a twin flame card. It can also be about stability, home life. Someone is making a wish in terms of a connection or a commitment towards somebody who perhaps already has an established home life. If this is not the case, then it could be to do with someone that maybe you had an argument with, that you are waiting to hear how things will develop. Maybe you are silently wishing on a reunion, a happily ever after, okay? Now, because we pulled the Hierophant card, we've also got the Three of Swords, okay? Now, the Three of Swords can pertain to a third party, so it could be that someone is already in a commitment, already has a family, a life, and your concern and worry is about that situation because you're not seeing anything evolve from it. Okay, now, because the Three of Swords is here, we'll clarify that in a moment, what that means, but the next card was the Five of Pentacles with the Six of Cups, okay? So the Five of Pentacles, again, feeling left out in the cold, but with the Six of Cups, it suggests a reunion. It suggests a re-emergence of a partnership. Now, because the Three of Swords was previously came up, it could have been that the other third party or the third party that was involved in the situation is no longer, and they're able to come forward to you. But the outcome for this particular sort of part of the cards, we've got the Star, which is very much about hope and something in the distance. The Star is usually suggestive of something that is going to develop, that's a little bit further off. It's not an immediate energy. But we've also got the Ace of Wands. So this is a fresh start. This is about a fresh start, okay? Ace of Wands is very much about passion. It's about a renewal of energy. It's about the start of something new. Let's see. I'm just going to pull some more cards to clarify. Yeah, it's like someone is taking their sweet time to decide what it is they want. And it's almost like they're not really, at this moment in time, making a sort of movement towards you. Let's have a look. Let's pull some more cards. Because we've got the Six of Swords in reverse. So it's like they're not moving. There's no movement with this. But they do want something secure, because we're seeing the Nine of Cups and the Four of Wands. But with the Seven of Pentacles reversed, it's like that's the current energy. That's the current energy. But with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, it suggests that this is, you know, an energy that is not moving at the moment, because and it's certainly not moving anytime soon. The Chariot as well, confirming the Hierophant and the Three of Swords, is suggesting that they're essentially just sticking where they are, and they're not really going to sort of... Something had to give, and I feel like in this scenario it could have been you. Again, this is very heavily around love, I feel. And then with the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, we've got the Hermit, which is usually about someone going in to search for answers and someone trying to figure out what it is they want to do. All right. Now, with the Future card, obviously with the Star and the Wand, which is essentially about a suggestive reunion in the future, we also clarified that with the Wheel of Fortune, which is essentially about the tides turning and a new fresh start, a new energy to all this, which is again suggesting that there is going to be a renewal to this, but whether or not you see it in the month of December is possibly not going to happen. Unlikely to happen. There's a lot of energy that's on hold. Again, we've got the Six of Swords that's reversed, the Seven of Pentacles reversed, and then the Chariot upright. It just suggests that they're getting on. Whoever this is just getting on with what they feel they need to do and isn't really thinking about coming back. But what they are doing is they're thinking about everything in general. Okay, so the Hermit card is, they definitely aren't satisfied where they are, but because a commitment has been made, it's like they're trying to figure out what it is they want, but there's no movement at the moment. Okay, but they are definitely seeking answers, and they're definitely not happy with the fact. It could also be that the current partnership they are in is not helping them at all, because the Eight of Swords with the Queen of Swords, this could be the other person's energy. That could be an air sign, so air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's pull some Oracle of the Radiant Sun and just see what else we can figure out here with this, because again, I don't know, I just feel like in December it just feels like they might have an awareness, they might make decisions. But what can you tell us please about Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019? Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus, please. General collective for December. Libra, December 2019. Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus. Okay, let's have a look. What can you tell us please? Oh, right. Interesting. What can you tell us please for the general sign? Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus for general collective. Right, we've had a couple of interesting cards come up, and I'm going to dig a little bit here, because this looks like... I feel like if you're... Because you've got the Caution card here. Alright. That's usually pertaining to that there's something not quite ready, or is being able to be kind of developed in at a time, because there's just so much else going on. We've also got the Protection card that I've pulled. Okay, this is usually very protective energy over family, over loved ones, someone that is a bit territorial. We've got Virgo and Aries, Virgo and Mercury and Aries moon. This person could have a fire or earth in their chart. And then we've got also Venus and Taurus. Okay, so again, another earth sign with romance. But I'm going to pull some more cards and we'll get some clarifiers, and then we'll see what's going on with this. I'm already thinking that this person, especially with this Queen of Swords energy, are they trying to protect you from something? Let's see what's going on here. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and all Venus signs. Sun, wow, okay, that's a few. Yeah, that's too many cards. There's a very paternal energy coming through here. Okay, because we've just pulled the inheritance card. Okay, That's usually about legacies, but it can also mean something that they want to take a lot of time over because there's an investment going on here. It's like a long-term investment that this person or people, it could be you, it could be the other person, is wanting to ensure is the right thing, because it doesn't just impact one person, it impacts a lifetime. These are going everywhere again. It impacts a lot of different things. Okay, interesting. We're getting some interesting cards. Let's just pull what is caution, please, Spirit. Okay, I'm going to pull a few more cards. We've also pulled the revenge card. I'm just going to keep it real with you. Now, usually it suggests that someone is not quite happy with the situation, okay? I'm going to obviously pull some more cards just to clarify this information. But underneath the caution card, we've got rebellion, which is usually about a pause because someone is trying to maneuver their way out of a situation, all right? Now, it could be that this is, if it's not you, maybe it's another person that you're linked romantically to. But there's definitely a definitive, very kind of clear, it just feels a bit stifled energy, if I'm totally honest with you. Now, underneath that was achievement. So it suggests to me that this person, let's say it is a third party that is trying to get away from a situation, they want to do it because the achievement cards come up, but they're trying to be cautious about it and they're trying to maneuver away from a situation, but they know what is at stake here. And I feel like I just keep hearing a tricky customer. So if you're not dealing with a tricky customer, I feel like they might be someone who is a very rigid, very a bit controlling, that does not want to let go. I'm just going to put it out there. Now, with the protection card, we've got criticism and discovery. So with the protection and criticism card, it's like this person, let's say they are in a third party, could have discovered that maybe you're involved or that there's someone else, and that this person is absolutely being bombarded, and for that reason they are just literally staying as they are for the time being to try and navigate, not make any quick decisions, to try and fact check and put everything together before they make a very clear decision, because the energy is, there's a lot of pressure going on. This doesn't feel like a nice energy. I'm just going to be real with you. This doesn't feel like a free-flowing energy. It feels controlling. I feel like I'm being controlled, and that I have no choice. Like I'm being given zero choice but to do this X, Y, and Z. And this person doesn't want to be in the situation, but at the same time they can't express that because it just makes things worse. Now, underneath the romance, we've got practicality and egotism. So this is a practical arrangement whereby I feel they are trying to navigate towards the person they want to be with, but there are definitely some blocks. There's also an egoistic element to it. So it could be that this other person that's involved is not letting that person go because there's ego. Take what resonates, but someone is definitively getting involved with their ego rather than their heart, because for them it's like control. It's like they're letting their ego dictate the decisions in the situation. Now, interestingly, we've got inheritance, birth, and secrets. So is there a secret pregnancy? I'm just going to put it out there. Someone involved could find out that there is a pregnancy, okay, and it could pertain to that the male involved, okay. Now that could be part of the practical situation that could be involved because of that scenario. But this is like, I'm not joking you. This energy, I'm not joking you. I've just cleansed all these decks, and this energy is coming up over and literally every reading I'm having. and now these monthly astrological readings, this is just very similar energy all round, where there's a lot of secrets being hidden, and then like certain committed couples there's a lot of secrets being hidden there, and then there's other third parties involved that it's complicating a lot of things, but people aren't meant to be where they're meant to be. It's really in depth. Now, interestingly, the last set of cards we've pulled is Revenge, Enterprise, and Domination. I'm going to be really honest with you. This is not the nicest of energy. There could be a situation... I hate saying this. I really don't want to say this. Why? Some people may have been getting pregnant deliberately to trap the person they're with. I'm going to put it out there. Wish I didn't have to, quite honestly. Wish I didn't even have to utter those words. I'm going to be honest, I feel sick at this point in time. I feel actually sick. I can't even imagine how you guys feel, because this is not even my life, and I feel sad. I feel like whoever's watching this video, guys, we're going to find out where this is going in a minute. But this situation, if you are really heavily ingrained into this, my guide's insight would be to step away. Because if you're dealing... I mean, first of all, this feels very karmic, okay? But second of all, and I'm talking about the person who's trying to gain revenge and domination via secrets and a potential birth or a start of something new, all right? If that is not you, and if you are not the person involved in this, like, and this is a third party situation, let them get on with it, because this energy right here is all consuming, all right? And what they don't want you to do is spend the last couple of months of this decade, of this year, getting suckered into that low vibrational energy. And I'm going to put it out there, and I know that sounds really judgy, like, well, you don't know what the other person's going through. You're right, I don't. But I also don't think it's worthy of revenge. I mean, I'm going to dig a bit here with this, but I don't care what... Look, I'm going to be really honest with you. I've gone through a lot in my life, but at no point is it worth... Like, why would you need to do that? Why would you need to seek out another person and try and dominate them to gain control in order to make yourself feel better? The problem's with you, you know, I'm going to be real. If someone is trying to seek out revenge, that is entirely their problem, and let the door hit their arse on the way out. Sorry, but now I feel like this isn't going to be for you guys. Now, if this is you, I really suggest, if you're not... I mean, look, obviously if you are carrying a child, then that's... But just don't get into revenge. I'm telling you now, this is not worth it. You've got to just focus on your child, all right? I feel really sad. I just feel really sad. This makes me really sad. So, as I say, goodness knows how you guys feel. I feel like all is not lost, because we had the Wheel of Fortune card at the end. But in amongst this mess, if this is a third party, you're involved with someone who is currently undergoing an individual who's exacting revenge on them, you have to let them figure this out. You have to let them figure this out. Your input, at the moment, you probably just need to step back. Let them figure out that this person is to be getting, you know, to be removed. They need to remove themselves, because that is not the way to love someone, is to extract revenge on them because they're not performing or doing a certain thing that you want them to do. That's not okay. I don't care what this, and sorry, but I don't care what the scenario is. You do not... Essentially what you're saying with revenge is you're putting yourself above another person, as if to say, I deserve more. Okay? Now, this is the thing with these kind of situations. If someone is wounded, then they are going to view things like that. And what I mean by wounded is, I mean psychologically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Okay? If they're not balanced, then obviously they are going to view these things in a way that is a form of control to put themselves above another human being. And that's not okay. And the universe sees everything, and the universe will get involved, okay? If it gets to the point where this is so beyond a karmic situation, where the soul contract has been absolutely, you know, there's no longer a need to sustain that, then spirit will, of course, step in. However, if this person is willingly engaging in that kind of behaviour, because we've got egotism, we've got revenge, we've got domination, there's a lot of ego going on here, okay? And it usually takes more than one party. Don't you then get involved with your ego thinking, well, how dare they? The fact is that this probably is a lesson for them of how not to treat people and how not to allow themselves to be in a relation. This is not a relationship. This is a contract. It looks like it feels very manipulative. But let's get more information. What is revenge, domination, and enterprise, please, Spirit? This person could have money. This person could have money around them. They could be wanting to try and, because we've also got practicality, they could be wanting to ensure their future is sustained. And what I mean by that is this could be about money, because again, we've got inheritance, we've got practicality. This feels like it's about money. And again, with the first card being caution, I feel like if you are not in this situation at the moment, to stay out of it, because again, we had rebellion underneath that. One person in this situation is going to want to come out of it. Okay, what is the Wheel of Fortune? Okay. What is the Wheel of Fortune, please, Spirit? What is the Wheel of Fortune? Libra. Cards are going absolutely everywhere. I think they're just dying to... Yeah. The Wheel of Fortune is the person that is currently unaware of the full extent of this domination, egoic kind of behavior is going to see this with the Vision card. This is about taking a clear step, okay, towards what it is they want. It could be to do with a Pisces, because this is a Sun in Pisces card. This is about the suit of fortunes, okay, and it says, when this card is selected, the questioner may be dreaming of escape in the form of a long distance trip or a get away from it all activity. The Vision card may also indicate a new interest in psychic research. It suggests that at some point time in the future, the person asking the question may be involved with a service to others that will provide satisfaction and fulfillment. This also means a sacrifice, a mystery, or a confusion of imagination and reality, a chance to escape, a miracle, situation in which one loses the plot. Now, because we've got the Wheel of Fortune here, this to me does suggest it is a miracle, but that, you know, that this person is going to see. What is Visions, please, Spirit? What is Visions? Yeah, look, there's a renewal, okay? So this is inspiration. This is a brand new, fresh energy, okay? Now, can you see that moon in the background there? Okay, you've got the moon over the houses. Again, another Pisces card. This is could be linked to a Pisces again. This, to me, feels like this is about the eclipse. What I would do is if this is your situation, let them get on with it and then look for change around the 26th of December, because that's when the eclipse is. We've also got Uranus that is going direct from the 10th of January. It could be that you'll also get another change in the situation around then. Uranus is the sign of, well, it's essentially like a disruptive energy, and it's been in retrograde, but it tends to break up a lot of energy, okay? With this being not direct until January, I feel like this kind of stagnancy is going to, you'll start seeing towards the end of the month that someone is aware that this is not, something's not a bit amiss here. And it is, if it's not you, it will be someone else, okay? But I feel like the beginning of January, the 10th of January, you're going to probably and definitely check back for January, because I think January is going to be insane. I already can feel it, right? It's going to be, all this stagnant energy is going to get broken up, and everyone's going to be like, I want to go here, and no one is stopping me. And it's going to be like, I just feel like this is going to be a really interesting energy. So, yeah, this is a bit of a, someone feels like someone is pregnant and that the intentions were not so great, and it's blocking another union from getting together. And again, if this is not you that's conceived, then obviously be careful, because again, the fertility card is coming up. And if it is you that's conceived and it wasn't out of, because obviously don't forget we've got secrets, so it could be that you conceived and it wasn't something that was planned, and obviously could have been a secretive thing. It could also be that the other person got wind of that's involved the third party, and found out that, and therefore that's the revenge, that's the domination. So it doesn't have to be you if you are obviously expecting. I'm not saying that you're the person that's extracting that. I'm just saying there's a third party involved who potentially is not the best sort of energy, that doesn't necessarily have the most highest and best interest for all involved. Okay, so what is revenge, enterprise and domination, spirit? Yeah, enterprise is usually something, it's like a planned approach to something. Yeah, look, innovation, it's like trying something new that's different in order to get a different result. And as you can see, you got the angst, got 3 angsts that are the same, 1 that's different. It's like trying an original idea in order to gain something, okay? But they won't be successful because you've got loss here, all right? So if this is you and you're sat there like thinking, yeah, this situation's me, I can't believe I'm in this situation, it is going to get resolved, but this energy just needs time. The likeliness is that this person that is around this individual has not fully understood the extent of this person's personality, and isn't prepared yet to make a decision on it, because they haven't quite. Now, obviously, don't forget, it could be that they found out that this person's involved with a third party and that's why they've done it. But it definitely pertains to money and security. Okay. What else can you tell me about Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs, please, for the month of December 2019? Okay. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs, please, for the month of December. Okay, I feel like one more. Okay, what else can you tell me about Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, please, for the month of December? They're saying one more, but it's not coming. Oh, here it is. Okay. Same card as before, visions. Okay, so we've got the power card here. All right. And I feel like this pertains to you. And yet again, we've got reference to that eclipse, the sun and the moon. Okay. Power is about having the foresight and vision of knowing what you know. So if you're sat here acknowledging what I'm saying, going, yeah, that's totally it. That's totally my situation. Have sense of knowing that you already know this situation cannot sustain. You cannot stay in a situation where one person, especially if they're carrying a child, And, you know, the other person's that's within that situation is not willingly entering into it. They're just kind of being manipulated. Have power in the knowing that this situation is going to have to change at some point, because there's no way you can sustain this kind of energy. It doesn't have the sustainability where this much effort, especially with revenge, like that's a really strong card, you know. Because power came out with the fortune card, it means this is going to be reviewed, okay, and looked at, all right? And again, the sun with the stars opposing the earth, again with the moon signs as well. Again, it is referencing the eclipse. I feel definitely take note of what happens around that time. But it's saying that you have a bit of a kind of, you're at a bit of a higher kind of ground here, because you know this is something you probably or may already know. You just have to bide your time. Focus on you. Just focus on everything you can that just doesn't involve this, because to me this feels like it's one of those energies that you could spend days, weeks, months, years entertaining and bleeding yourself dry with energetically until it just goes in circles. The thing here is that this energy is going to end soon, because again, with power and fortune, it's like fortune is usually a manifestation of something. It's usually a positive influence that has created something, okay? With the fact that you've got the Wheel of Fortune, vision and power, I feel like this is where, by you kind of keeping your distance from this situation, it's going to really allow that to close out where you're not getting involved, because whoever this energy is for revenge, that's just not okay, you know? And again, with the first two cores being caution and protection, do you remember when I said I feel like someone's trying to protect you? I feel like this person's probably trying to protect you. Maybe they know the situation with this person is, they're not a very nice, look, I'm just going to be real with you. I feel like this energy is vile. Like, I'm just going to be, I know that sounds terribly judgmental, but the only way anyone can sustain that kind of, like, if it is revenge, like, what on earth, you know? It's very Mars and Scorpio. That's possibly why, if this person's backed away, they're trying to not get you involved in this, because maybe they already know this person's needing to balance themselves out and they don't want you to get hurt, or, you know, so just keep trust in the faith that firstly, they cannot sustain this energy forever, and secondly, you know the truth, you know, and that fortune will be yours. Fortune favors the bold, you know, so, and it doesn't involve favoring someone who is trying to manipulate a situation, because I really do I'm really thinking now with this energy that this is someone who is actually trying to get revenge on a human being to get them where they want them, because they feel like they're losing their grip on this person. They're losing their control. Again, domination, revenge, caution. Just you know, and the fact that the first card was caution was just be aware that if this person is that kind of energy, that don't give them a reason to, at the end of the day, if that person's that low vibrational and they're seeking that kind of energy out, there is karma involved with that. You cannot just start wreaking revenge on people that you deem to be your responsibility. I mean, who on earth, you know, can sit and say, well, you know, they did me wrong, so I'm not going to trust upstairs, I'm going to just seek the matter myself. It's like, who are you? So you think you're God all of a sudden, do you? To sort of be exacting revenge on people? Let upstairs deal with it. Because as soon as you get involved, then you're bringing karma to you, because you're not saying, I trust upstairs to deal with it. So you just got to be very careful that you don't then get riled up with this energy. Because I already am feeling like I'm getting riled up. It's not even my energy. Just make sure that you are remaining very objective about this. I know it's not easy if your feelings are involved, but this is going to be resolved in your favor. But just make sure, as long as you're just don't get too involved. Just don't get too involved. That is the best way they want to say it. Let me just pull some oracle cards here. Okay, let's go with the wisdom. Okay, what can you tell us, please, about Libra Sun, Moon, Rising. Venus signs. Outcome for December. General collective. I believe the Sun, Moon, Rising. And for December 2019. December 2019. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. Venus. Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising. Outcomes, please, Spirit. What are the outcomes? Outcomes for December, please. Whoa. Okay. Very, very strong aggressive energy here. Masculine, yang energy. Okay. So again, very direct, very kind of, just make sure I would not get involved in this. I know that's easier said than done if this is you and you're in the middle of it, but just remember that there is the spirit is still urging on the side of caution here. Okay, so if this is you getting involved in this, just be very clear. You're obviously you can speak your truth, but just don't do it in a way that's going to cause a ricochet and a ripple effect that is going to bring so much more energy towards you. Okay, and again, they're confirming that by saying by the book. So make sure you're doing everything by the book. Otherwise, this is going to impact you. And they're confirming that information by saying blessed. Okay. So they're saying this does have a positive resolution, but just ensure that you are not involved to the point where, put it this way, if this person is wreaking revenge for some, I mean, look, we've all been hurt, but you know, it always fascinates me when people sit and say, oh, I should do it, you know, I should do this to them because they did that to me. It's like, well, then, okay, so then you do it back to them and then they do it back to you and then you do it. And then where are we? We're just in an everlasting loop of nowhere. You know, I could sit here and list off a million different occasions people have sat there and gone, oh, you know, done something to me. I just hand it upstairs and let them deal with it. So over to you. Because they can see everything. They're not silly. You know, and I can't sit here and do this job and then go, but I don't trust them to deal with life in general. Let them deal with it. You know, it's the same as when, you know, in my past lifetimes, I haven't been an angel, otherwise I wouldn't be here. You know, obviously I'm not an angel, I'm a human. But there's obviously things I've done wrong because I'm human. But that doesn't mean to say that I expect someone who's also had things done wrong to them to start wreaking revenge, because this is not the purpose of being here. It's also not... How can I explain this? Because I know everyone is going to have a different opinion on this, but you cannot fight fire with fire. You cannot. You cannot fight fire with fire. It doesn't work, okay? Look at the wars we have. That is a brilliant example. Look at all the wars people are having, you know? Does it really need to go to that length? No. I don't think it justifies death of people, you know, or... This, I mean, look, obviously that's an extreme example, but we are meant to learn the middle ground, okay? And I think it's very easy to sit and start wreaking revenge on people because it's a form of control, isn't it? It's like to say, I'm going to reassert my control and my hold on things. Great, but actually, guess what? We're not actually in control of anything because we are here from upstairs, like... When you realise that, it's ridiculous because you're like, I'm going to try and do this, I'm going to try and do that. It's like you can set that intention, but ultimately you don't get to decide when, if, you know, how, because it's not, this is the thing, you cannot, and this is what makes me laugh when people that set intentions then go to the other end of the spectrum and go, but I'm going to do a spell on them because this is what they did to me. It's like, right, so you're willing to... you're willing to manifest, but you're not willing to trust them with anything else. Like... What kind of message are you sending to your guides? And not only that, but sorry, but I pride myself on my work that I've done spiritually, because it means I get amazing guides, because I've learned. I'd much rather learn and get some wicked guides who can, basically help me out massively, than stay in a very low vibrational energy, get rubbish, no offense, rubbish guides, because my energy is not very high itself, and then get stuck in an everlasting loop. I want to, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to learn and get off this planet so I can, have a little holiday upstairs, It's up to you. It's whatever your preferences are. Maybe if this is you, maybe you are in this state of revenge. Maybe you want to be in that because it suits you, because it serves you to sit there and say, I'm a victim. And I know that's going to be extraordinarily controversial, but it's true. Sorry for all those naysayers that are probably watching this thinking, well, how dare you? You don't know my life. No, you're right. I don't know your life, but I know mine. Should I just resign to everything that's happened to me and just call myself a victim as well, and then just not do any of the work and then have rubbish guides so that no one else can get good readings and then I can't get good insight with my life? No, because it means that I'm going to grow and learn, because obviously there's something to learn from it. There always is, without a shadow of a doubt. In every single ridiculous situation I've ever been through, there's always something to learn about, and it's not to the detriment of, I feel really sorry for myself because now it's not fair. It's not fair. Nothing's fair. I think you'll find it might be fair. Maybe this time it isn't. Maybe it is. But there is a balance to all things. Have I had ridiculously hard times in my life? Yes, of course. But that's why I'm in the position I'm in, and I have the most amazing spirit team around me, because I've fought through those things very, very hard. Which is why I am so lucky to have the people I have around me, because they send you guides based on what you've evolved and gone through, okay? And I take pride in my readings, I take pride in the work that I do, because I know that my team are amazing. I'm not. I'm just passing on the message, I've worked hard, and this is the exact same thing. So do not get suckered into that energy, because it's an ego trap. How dare he be treated like this? No, how dare she treat him like this? Leave it upstairs. Don't forget the egotism card. Do not get suckered. Is this a test? Is this an ego test? We all have ego. We wouldn't be here. This is impossible not to have ego, but how do we handle it? Do we use it for our good? Or are we using it to sort of give a very good, nice little example of, I need to give this person what they deserve because I think I deserve more. Maybe you do, but why don't you just give it to the proper means and let them decide? Are you God? Are you God? And again, I know that's controversial to say. When people have extraordinarily harrowing situations, losses of loved ones, and you can sit there, well, how dare you say that? Does that mean losing my loved one means I deserved it? No, you're putting words in my mouth. What I tend to do is I will look at the 360-degree angle and way higher perspective of, okay, what was that person's life path? What happened in a previous lifetime? What happened between you and them in a previous lifetime? Did this situation happen before? If it did, what happened then? Is the scales of justice more heavily weighed against you? If it is, probably you're going to get something better out of it. There are a million different things to look into. The point here is that this is not my job to judge and go, I'm not judge and juror, they are. I'm simply just passing on information. That's all my job is I'm the middle person that I'm not God. I don't sit and go, right, we've pulled the revenge card, people. Let's, what are we going to do for spell work today then? What is that? How do you know that this person that's the last thing they need to understand? By having someone, spirit may intervene, and this could be the last time they ever do that, and then that's it. They have learned, and they're therefore moving forward. They're going to start as they mean to go on, and that's no longer ever going to be around them. Sometimes putting that fire energy into it can outweigh the whole situation and make it 50 times worse. And then what you got to ask yourself is that because you felt that was worthy, you were, trying to get yourself to a position where you were justifying it? Or is this about your ego because you feel like you were wronged? If you feel like you were wronged, you ask spirit. You send it to them and say, Spirit, this is how I feel about it. This is how I feel about the situation. What insight can you give me? And if you're not in a position to do that, which I'd be meditating. I'll be honest with you, when my granddad passed away, I spent years meditating on it, going, no, I'm not accepting that as an answer. Why? Why? Tell me what happened. I want to know exactly. So they gave me mediumship and said, here you go. Now you'll understand. Because I was fully in that energy. I was like, what the heck do you mean? Selfish energy. Like, how dare you take him, you know? Well, poor guy, I spent 94 years on Earth. Give him a break. You know, he probably wants a holiday. Probably wants to just rest, you know, outside of this dualistic energy. You know, he fought in a Second World War. That was, for me, to acknowledge now, was incredibly selfish of me to even sit and dare say to him, how dare he leave me? Like, that's, you know, that's a very, very narrow-minded perspective. And 10 years on, actually, to this week, I've learned. But what you got to do is you got to trust upstairs to deliver that. You've got to trust upstairs to be able to show people in the right time, in the right way. And not everyone is going to learn immediately. This person could need a little bit of time, which is why this situation is taking longer than you expected. The other people involved, again, same could be for them. But the most important thing is that likeliness is you will be getting help from spirit. Okay, you've got a leg up here. Okay, so just trust that they're going to do that. All right, you've got help coming, but you've just got to trust in it. You've got to keep our Archangel Raphael, the healer, Archangel Michael, ask them to disconnect any negative cords and attachments. All right. Okay, this is something that is probably going to develop at the pace of Spirit's requirements. So we must give them time and opportunity. Okay, and the card before that was the never-ending story. So I feel like it could be that this karmic contract that was involved here with this revenge situation, their soul contract has been satisfied and therefore Spirit are now intervening. Usually when a soul contract, I mean, obviously we don't get involved in soul contracts and then stay through abuse and all this other stuff. Spirit then get involved, because that's when a soul contract is they say, right, no, this is not beneficial to anyone. So just be careful. Keep on your, not on the guard, but just be careful what involvement you're having in that situation, because it's going to resolve itself. Here we go, look. Mending, a deep knowing, a change in the wind, and no place like home. So this is obviously meant to be, all right? We just have to allow Spirit to take the time to sort this out. Okay, so deep knowing, all right? So you know the deal with this situation. Oh, that was deep knowing. No place like home. So this is obviously someone that you have a very strong connection with. All right, there's a deep knowing about this situation, that just keep that faith that this is going to get resolved. Okay, Spirit are mending the situation. All right, and it will be intervened with, because if it is that extreme with all this ego and domination and revenge and goodness knows what, there will be a change in the wind. Okay, guys, so hopefully that's been of some help to you. I wish you all the very best of luck for this month. Thank you for everyone who's been obviously liking, subscribing and sharing the videos. It does mean a lot to me. For everyone that's sat and watched the whole of this video, listened to this video, thank you again. Hopefully it's helped. Video tomorrow will be Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for the month of December. I do post Monday to Friday, sometimes the odd time. Maybe this month I will be posting Saturdays as well. I haven't quite decided yet. We'll see. But after we've completed all these astrological placements, we'll be doing pick a cards, which will be all about looking at 2020, what this decade has to bring, past life situations, loads of other stuff. Hopefully something for everyone. So guys, have a wonderful Christmas, New Year, whatever you celebrate. Wonderful December. Take good care. Bye bye.